See, the Christians of South Africa, they live by this curse. The Christians of South Africa. You see, they read in the book of Genesis chapter 9 that after the flood, Noah, the prophet Noah, and his 3 sons, Sam, Ham, and Japheth, they started growing grapes. And from the fruit of the vine, they fermented wine. And Nuh alayhi salam, according to the Bible, drank too much. And he was lying naked, spread out. So out of his 3 sons, Sam, Ham, and Japheth, Ham, H-A-M, Ham, same spelling as the piece of pig. Same. He behaved like a pig. He laughed at his father's nakedness. Look at the old man, his father, spread out, naked. But the other 2, they felt ashamed of the father's nakedness. They took a piece of cloth and they walked backwards and they covered up the father. In the meantime, the father knew what was going on. But he was too dead drunk, according to the Bible, to do anything about it. When he comes to his soberness, now he curses. And he curses, "Cursed be Canaan, for a servant of servant thou shalt be unto thy brethren." So that is the curse. And the white people of South Africa, they believe that we are the children of Ham, all the black peoples of the earth. You see, and they are, the white races are the children of Sam and Japheth. So we are to be the slaves, the carriers of wood, the bearers of wood and water, do all the menial work. So the white man in South Africa, he can't get reconciled to the Indian, the African, the colored who becomes rich. We also have some of us Mercedes-Benzes. We also have air-conditioned homes. We also have swimming pools in our homes. He can't understand it. He said, look, these are an accursed people. They were supposed to be the hewers of wood and the drawers of water. They were supposed to work for us in our mines and our factories and sweep our streets and carry our shit buckets. That is the privilege of these black races. And look at them. He can't get reconciled. But he can do nothing about it. He can't grab it because we sweated for every cent or pence that we have earned. But at the back of his mind, this is the role he's playing, that he is the Israelite in Africa. He is the Israelite. You see, he reads the Bible and he projects himself into the Bible. The roles. We all do that. When you go and see films, the hero, we are with him. Even if he does things wrong, we want him to get away with it. No? Yes. Because our sympathies, they build up a sympathy for the character. Similarly now, while they're reading this, the sympathy is for the Jews. And they put themselves in the position of the Jews, that we are the Bani Israel in Africa. And these black people, Indians, Africans and coloreds, are the Palestinians. So it's our destiny to rule them. But now, this prophecy, you see where it says, "Cursed be Canaan, for a servant of servant thou shalt be unto thy brethren." And I have been asking learned men of Christendom. I said, who saw his father's nakedness and laughed? They say, Ham. And I said, who is Canaan? Is the man, look, he's still drunk. Look, when he was drunk, we understand what happened. Now he's sober and he curses. And who is he cursing? Not Ham. He's cursing Canaan. I said, why Canaan? And believe me, no Christian worth the name, even Jimmy Swaggart or his father, can answer that. Why Canaan? And is God blind? That look, for somebody else's sin, he goes and curses, has somebody else cursed. Is he also blind? If God is also blind? No. Then why this Canaan? You see, in that chapter 9 of Genesis, you read again now, you'll note that every time the name Ham is mentioned in that chapter, it says, and Ham the father of Canaan, and Ham the father of Canaan, and Ham the father of Canaan. So when you finished, you think Ham and Canaan are synonymous terms, which are not. Ham had 4 sons, Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. He was the youngest of the grandson of Nuh. Why would he leave the culprit, leave the 3 other brothers of his, and curse this little infant fellow? Why? Ask him. Is the man still drunk? Or is God blind? No. This is man-made book. The book is man-made. This is not the book of God. So the guy who had the pen in his hand, very few people were able to read or write in those days. Like in Arabia, there were only about half a dozen people in the whole of Arabia in the time of our Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam who could read and write. Abu Jahl was one of those. So, very few people. And if you had something against Deedat, oh, you can introduce me into the book. As Lot, as Lut, as Noah, as Nuh, as Ham, all this you can do because you got the pen in your hand. This is the book of man. This is how it has worked. But otherwise, make them to account for it. Who is Canaan and who is Ham? Why should this man know? If in his righteous indignation, if he cursed Ham and said, you be cursed and your children and your children's children for eternity, we can understand. He should have had no right to do that. But we can understand man's anger. You speak like that. But he leaves the culprit out. And he leaves the three other sons of his, and he picks up the innocent little child. You know why? Because Canaan became famous in history. So this, whatever family this guy belonged, he had something against the Canaanites. So this is the concoction, the word of man. So Allah says, فَوَيْلٌ لِلَّذِينَ يَكْتُبُونَ الْكِتَابَ بِأَيْدِهِمْ. So woe to them who write the book with their own hands. ثُمَّ يَقُولُونَ هَذَا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. Then they say, this is from Allah. لِيَشْتَرُوا بِهِ ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا. That they may reap some little reward. وَوَيْلٌ لَهُم مِّمَّا كَتَبَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ. So woe to them for what they write. And وَوَيْلٌ لَهُم مِّمَّا يَكْسِبُونَ. And woe to them for what they earn. Mr. Chairman, this is the last. وَآخِرُ الدَّعْوَانَ أَنِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ.